Welcome back to my channel. This is Chidinma Favor. It's your first time of coming across my channel. Thank you so much. Please subscribe and encourage us so we grow together. Okay, we're making this beautiful top. It's like a wrap top with a buckler at the waist area. Okay, this is supposed to have a collar, but the owner of this doesn't want a collar. All right, you can see that mine is cut together. You can do normal cutting and cut the sleeve separate, but mine I decided to do cut together, and I use about 1.5 yard of fabric because she's a plus size person. 1.5 is perfectly okay. Then you can go ahead and add your collar. Like I said, she doesn't need the collar. Okay, thank you so much. What I have here is a pattern paper. This is a Dutchess material, and we know that Dutchess material is very sensitive. Okay, here the lines I have here is my bust point, my underburst, and the length of the gown, sorry, the length of the top. I have my bust point on the bust length of the top. Okay, here I'm going to determine how wide I want the sleeve to be. All right, the wideness of the sleeve. How wide you want the sleeve to be. I want mine to come down a bit after the bust. Like I want the opening of the sleeve to come down after the bust, so I'm using about 14 inches for the wideness. So when you open it, we'll have about 28, which is perfectly okay. Just like about an inch or 1.5 inch after the bust. Okay, now at the waist area, we're going to take our waist circumference, that's your hip circumference divided by 4. You can add 2 inch or 1.5 inches depending on what you have. Here I just took my bust point and I added extra 2 inches. Okay, you notice I did not take it at exactly my bust point. I just came down to take it, so I'll be able to connect this properly. Remember, is a cut together. Like I said, I'm using a cut together. All right, now on that your weight, your sorry, on that your shoulder line, on your shoulder line, please determine how long you want the sleeve to be. Okay, that's totally your choice. All right, what I did was just to cut out exactly what we've drawn. This is very easy, and you notice that at that area I extended the sleeve. Okay, I extended my sleeve. So extend it to what you want. At the end of the day, I was having about 23. Okay, so use exactly what is okay for you. All right, so here, because my pattern paper was not long enough, here I'm just extending it to get the sleeve length. Okay, but I maintained the same opening. All right, I maintain my opening. I'm just curving it out this place. That's just what we're doing. Okay, for the back neckline, we are using 1 inch. You can use 1.5 if it's what you want. So just go ahead and cut. This clothes is so easy to make. I use the pattern paper, like I said, because I'm using a Dutchess fabric, which is very sensitive. All right, so here I've gone ahead to cut it out. When cutting this, please make sure to cut out the back first before you cut the front. If you're watching up to this moment, please help us subscribe. The subscription is totally free, and like I said, I'm so sorry, I'm trying to launch my ready to wear brown. That's why I've been so busy. All right, to notice that the arm area, we still added the extra inches just like we did for the back. Now I'm marking out the neck depth for the front. She wants to wear a singlet inside. Forgotten what it's called, please pardon that. Okay, she wants to wear something inside, so she wants it to come down a bit. So what I did here was just to mark out the depth, the exact depth of the neck, that's the width of the neck. Then I came down from my bust point about 1.5 inch to 1 inch is perfectly okay. Now at the waist side, that's the hip side, I'm going to mark quarter of my hip down. I'm going to mark it down there so that I will get that long part of it where we are going to add where we're going to add um our belt buckler, or belt buckler, that's what it's called. So from there, just look at what I'm doing. And remember, I've made the points. You can see the points that I made. So I just folded this for us to see it properly. So I'm going to start from that neck width that we've marked out, and I'll connect it down to that dot we marked. Then from there, I'll connect it all the way to the length, the actual length where we want this the buckler, how long we want the buckler to be. Okay, remember that the more you go deep, the more you reveal your body. So if you don't want to put on singlet or anything inside, don't go deep so much. All right, that's just it. You can see what we did. It's very easy. Just curve it to get to that your quarter of your hip. You can make it longer, maybe you add more inches to your hip quarter measurement if you want. Like I said, it's totally optional, but for the armhole area, you just go ahead and cut exactly what you have. You can see what we are doing here. There's nothing much to it. It's only at that sleeve area that we added something. Okay, after cutting it, this is how it's looking. You can see this is very easy to make. Please, if you're watching up to this moment, please subscribe to our channel. It's totally free. All right, so we just put two of them together. We haven't sewed it. You can see how it's looking, the back and the front together. Okay, you can see how open it's going to be after sewing it. All right, so we're going to pipe the neck area and the shoulder area. Okay, I've gone ahead to pipe it. I just turned it in. You can also use a bias to turn this, but I didn't use bias. I just used the material. At this point, I didn't have the bias of this exact size. Okay, I've gone ahead to cut the circumference of our arm, and this is what we have. On fold, we're having about 2.5. So when it's open, we're having about 5 inches. All right, so this is where we're going to fold. We're going to pleat this hand area. We're going to pleat it, like gather it, so it will fit the circumference of her arm. All right, okay, you can see I've done these gathers here. I have on my channel how to make gathers, but I'm going to go ahead and still show us how to do it with this. Go ahead and use light stitches to sew your gathers. Okay, then you get out one of the thread. After sewing, you have the 2 threads, right? Just pick one of them, whichever one you want. Just go ahead and pick it, then pick it out and slightly use that one. Just pick one, slightly use it to draw your gathers. This is exactly how to form gathers. It's pretty easy, but you just have to be careful so you won't cut the thread. All right, because once the thread is damaged, you have to sew it again. All right, so gather it to the circumference of her arm, or of your client's arm. Like I said, I use cut together. If you don't use cut together method, you can just use a normal cutting method and cut your sleeve. Okay, so I'm going to go sew this together. All right, I'll sew it together. See how it's looking. She's a plus size person, just my size. Okay, so here we come. We have sewed it. I use interlocking stitch to lock it. You can see how beautiful it's looking. She was amazed. All right, she was happy. It doesn't have down part, it's just an upper part, so that's why I had to put it on my mannequin with the shorts. Don't mind the shorts, it's not for her, but I just want to show us how it looks. This is pretty easy, like pretty easy. It's something you can sew within 30 minutes. Pretty easy, it doesn't take much time. Okay, this is the buckler we're going to use. Please, if you're watching up to this moment, please, why not subscribe? Like I said, I'm going to launch my ready to wear brand very soon. If you're interested, I'm going to also post it here for you to see some of the things my brands are selling. You can patronize us. All right, you can patronize us. We will not disappoint you, I promise that. Okay, you can see you can put the buckler this way, you can put it this way. If you're still watching, please subscribe. It's a way of encouraging us to post more. Okay, and I'm sorry for being absent for some time or for a while. We're just running around to get all the resources we need ready for our business as we launch our brand. Then you can put it together this way. Just hold it together this way, and put it from the back side and bring it down to the front. You can use it whichever way. You can buckle it whichever way you want. It will still come out beautiful. Thank you so much for watching and sticking by. We are not taking your efforts in watching our videos for granted. Be happy, okay, and try out new things. Thank you so much.